Did you know that 84% of women and 75% of men said they had a toxic friend at some point in their lives? In fact, 1 in 3 people confess to having a toxic best friend. Bitching and constant drama is contagious. Every day, we come across several kinds of toxic personalities, yet fail to identify them. We have been there ourselves. However, some of these toxic people can even get you into a lot of trouble. Here's how toxic people can sabotage you. They can easily influence you to distrust your potential, doubt your abilities, disrespect your opinions, and destroy your dreams. In fact, science says that ditching these drama queens can not only make you happier, it'll make you healthier too. So, what is a toxic person like? Toxic people resist logic as well as empathy for others. Every time you meet a toxic person, they leave you emotionally drained and demotivated. It's all about them, never the other way around. They can gradually become one of the primary sources of stress in your life. A study also found that your social circle can influence your eating habits. So let's assume you have a toxic friend who is obese. He or she can influence you to eat more and ultimately make you obese too. Some people display toxic traits unintentionally, whereas, on the other hand, most toxic traits are triggered out of sheer jealousy. Here are 10 types of toxic personalities to avoid in life. Number 10. Liars. These toxic people can be tough to spot unless they are caught off guard. In fact, lying is a pretty common activity. In a TED Talk, The Future of Lying, Jeff Hancock, a psychologist, shares research that shows we all lie once or twice every day. Some of the most told lies are, "Sorry, I was caught up in the traffic. My phone was dead. Unfortunately, I have other plans this weekend." Have you told some of these lies yourself? As far as the intention behind lying isn't significantly deceptive, it can be overlooked. However, you have to be careful with prolific or habitual liars. These types of liars leave no room for trust in a relationship and can tell 19 lies for every big lie they shared in the past. Research also finds that people lie the most on Facebook and online dating sites, whereas LinkedIn is where people lie the least. With more users accessing the internet through mobile devices, socials can be a gateway to many liars who hide behind their screens and lie conveniently. One of the best ways to stay safe online is to dodge communication with strangers and refrain from sharing personal or sensitive information. It can be extremely annoying to be with someone who is constantly dishonest with you. You may even develop mistrust towards your future relationships because of such toxic people. Number 9. Temperamental. Temperamental people have zero control over their emotions. Bad mood swings are their DNA. Most often, they will lash out at you, assuming that you are the one causing discomfort. These types of toxic people may also end up playing the victim card. It gets difficult to dump temperamental people from your life, because their lack of emotional stability can lead you to sympathize with them. Some of them may even have bipolar disorder. Practicing mindfulness through meditation or yoga can assist them in stabilizing their emotions. Regardless of being supportive, temperamental people can easily harm your ability to focus and seed thoughts of self-doubt. Just don't validate their behavior, and don't let them throw tantrums at you. Instead, stand up for yourself and learn to set healthy boundaries. Number 8. Needy. Needy people only appear in your life when they have a favor to ask for. Whether it is your friends borrowing your car or colleagues taking help at work, they are the ones who continually seek help from you. In reality, you are solely responsible for everything that happens in life. Needy people don't realize this and fail to take responsibility, and therefore, always expect others to solve their problems. Such toxic companions ask a lot out of you. Because, for them it's all about taking with little or no giving. And the worst part is, they will not lend a helping hand during your tough times. It can be tricky to say no to people with such needy behaviors, as they can pretend to be disheartened and make you pity them. Be very careful with needy people and learn to prioritize your needs before offering help. The snakes are in the grass, so it would benefit if you stayed away from them for your own good. Number 7. Dementors. We're positive that you're all familiar with J.K. Rowling's famous Harry Potter series. As per this series, Dementors are evil creatures that suck people's souls, perhaps even scarier than Voldemort himself. And whenever a Dementor enters a room, darkness sets in. People get cold and immediately recall their worst memories. Guess where did Rowling get the idea of toxic people like the Dementors? She said that she grew the concept for Dementors based on highly negative people, the kind of people who can actually walk into a room and immediately suck the life out of it. Such toxic people constantly drain happiness out of a person or situation. Hanging around people who can make you emotionally vulnerable can have negative impacts on your well-being in the long run. Number 6. Envious. We all must have had our fair share of jealous personalities in our lives. Young people, below 30 years of age, contributed to 80% of those who reported experiencing envy within the last year. Envious people are not only jealous of your achievements or success, but also feel bad for your happiness and the love or attention you receive. They also struggle to maintain healthy competition among their peers and therefore can go to a great extent to make sure there is no one better than them. Here are some fascinating facts from a research study published in the journal Basic and Applied Social Psychology. The study's co-author and psychologist, Christine Harris, from the University of California, pointed out that 79% of women and 74% of men reported envying someone in the previous year. Older people reported less envy, proportionally, than younger ones. Men were much more likely than women to report envying others for their occupational success. On the other hand, young women were much more likely than men to report envying looks. Envying friends by sneaking into their social profiles is also a common phenomenon nowadays. Certainly, spending too much time with such jealous people can be dangerous, as they will eventually influence you to get demotivated and lose self-confidence. Keep an eye on such traits of toxic people to eliminate uninvited troubles in your life. Number 5. The insecure type. Insecurity and the lack of trust is the root cause of fading relationships these days. Insecure people have no faith in their potential, see you as a threat, and hence pull you back. They don't believe in their self-growth, instead, focus on other people's destruction. For instance, a toxic coworker may not necessarily improve his or her skills to get promoted, but instead intentionally nitpick your everyday activity and weigh down your efforts in front of other team members. Sometimes, they don't even shy away from taking credits for the work you've done. Number 4. Self-absorbed or narcissist. Toxic people with narcissist personality types always do things in their own best interests. They lack empathy and are unable to see others' perspectives. In fact, several workplaces encourage the notion there is no I in the team to remind employees to think of others and not just themselves. In the simplest terms, self-absorbed people are selfish, egoist, self-centered, or obnoxious. Narcissists possess arrogant thinking and behavior, with an excessive need for admiration from external sources. It is indeed essential to put oneself first, but self-absorbed people go way beyond the limits to suppress others and never allow anyone to do so. They are clearly not a sport. One of the reasons why a person cultivates self-centered behavior traces back to the parenting style during their childhood. Parents of obnoxious kids fulfill every single request. When these obnoxious children cry, fuss, or demand something, their parents attend to them, and they get what they want immediately. These emotional and behavioral associations stick to them even after they become adults. Also, research conducted over more than a decade shows that loneliness is a significant factor that increases self-centeredness. John Cacioppo, a professor in psychology and director of the Center for Cognitive and Social Neuroscience, says, "If someone gets more self-centered, they run the risk of staying locked into feeling socially isolated, perhaps due to their unfriendly personality trait. So, try avoiding such toxic connections and learn to stand up for your own opinions. Number 3. Manipulators. One of the most common types of toxic people is the manipulators. Some of us must have had at least one person who constantly manipulates us. Manipulators have a freakish personality, and they can consume your time and energy behind the facade of friendship. They can be complex to deal with because they'll always shower kindness and treat you like a friend. Manipulators will learn everything about you. Your likes and dislikes. What makes you happy? Your type of girl or guy. Your strengths and weaknesses, etc., and later use this information as a secret formula to exploit you. They'll do anything to win you over, and then manipulate you at their convenience. Number 2. Criticizers. It is indeed okay to surround yourself with people who show tough love, and share constructive criticism to help you grow in life. We're definitely not talking about them. Whom we refer to as the toxic criticizers have the sole purpose to bring you down. They embrace destructive criticism with the aim to destroy your self-esteem and reputation. No matter how good you are or how far you've come in life, these types of toxic people find a way to tell you that you're not special. Without a doubt, criticism is hard to deal with. A study from the University of California concluded that human brains don't know how to well receive negative feedback. Backing this is another study that shows 34% of respondents become less motivated and didn't work as hard as before when their boss criticized them. Criticizers are the type of toxic people who make your life harder by the means of constant judgment and sarcastic comments. Would you prefer to be around someone like this? We are sure your answer will be no. So, avoid such toxic people who always criticize you, and your future self will thank you for this. Number 1. Gossipers. Have you heard of the quote, "Great minds discuss ideas, average ones discuss events, and small minds discuss people"? Gossiping is a significant sign that toxic people display, which mainly involves one-sided offensive judgments of a person. Not only does it show poor manners, but it can also ruin close friendships. Now, don't get us all wrong. It is okay to share conversations about others once in a while. After all, we are all social beings. But most people gossip to get attention and to make themselves feel better. The key is to look at one's intention behind the discussion. Is it a healthy dialogue, or do they constantly seek attention and feel superior about themselves? Do you recognize any of these toxic people in your life? Let us know your comments. If you're still with us, you're about to get our special bonus. Much like life, even with people, you'll always come at crossroads. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, which is why being stuck with a bad influence sucks. When your intuition says something is just not right, or if you act differently while around them, the company can be toxic and sabotaging. Here are red flags to keep in mind to spot a toxic personality. They are jealous, manipulative, and judgmental. They simply don't support you. They show narcissism. Gaslighting is their habit. Toxic people play the blame game or the victim card. They gossip behind you. If you're sitting at a table surrounded by toxic people, there is no seat left for the good ones. Sometimes in life, for good things to happen, you have to let go of the bad ones. So end your toxic connections and surround yourself with people that reflect who you want to be and how you want to feel. We will also end the video with one of Han's quotes. It takes nothing to join the crowd, but it takes everything to stand alone. Are you ready to come out of toxic relationships? If you're willing to bring a change to your life, comment change, so we know you've got our whole message. Thanks for staying with us until the end. And if you've enjoyed this video, do not forget to subscribe so you never miss any new updates.